How's it going, folks? And welcome back. Today, it's episode number 75 of Park to Primera. Today, it's a Champions League final. I'm nervous. I'm excited. We've got this match to do live. We're then going to have a little bit of an end of season wrap up. I don't know if I'm ready. But before we get into that game, couple of things to recap. Since you were last here, we finished the league season. The league was won, but we did manage to beat both Real Madrid and Sevilla. We've also had a couple of friendlies to get in the mood for things. Slightly concerningly, a week before the final, I've just drawn against the B team. Let's try not to read too much into that. So the league is officially all wrapped up. We are ready and raring to go going into some summer transfer business. And whilst at this point in the year, I'd normally be knee-deep in scout reports, I've had to put all of that to the back of my mind. We have a Champions League game to play, but Fabian Vélez might leave the club for 51 million. I think 51 million is a really, really good price for him, to be completely honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me in the comments, so that's a thing that's happening. But more on transfers and stuff probably tomorrow. So, of course, today's opposition are Arsenal. They have won the last two Champions Leagues. You can see both teams' routes to get here. Arsenal smashed PSG 5-1, scraped by against Inter, dispatched of Porto, and find themselves in the final. As for ourselves, well, we smashed Benfica. We beat them 5-0. We then smashed Manchester United. I think 7-2 is a smashing, isn't it? You've scored 7 goals against a team. It's a smashing. And then most recently, of course, semi-final yesterday against Bayern Munich. 3-1 victors. I'm ready and raring to go. And well, of course, today's final is live from Old Trafford. So in terms of team selection news, we're pretty much at full strength when it comes to the starting 11. With the friendlies that we organised as well, we've managed to keep match sharpness, at least in our best 11, nice and high for this final game of the season. It has been a little bit of a break since the end of our league year. Of course, with this being a Champions League final, did I mention that? With it being the Champions League final, we can have some more players on the bench. So let's get them on it. Worth noting that Nianzou is struggling a little bit with fitness, so we're going to drop him from the team. Machado can go on the bench. Hardy can go on the bench. We'll get Martinez in there too. And you know what? Last option, we'll have Leandro Diaz, just so we have actually got a backup left back on the bench. That seems like a good idea, really. So in terms of the team selection, it's the team that you know and love. Ramadani in goal, joined us for 9.75 million, has been our first choice goalkeeper for the last 3 years. I feel like he is exactly the kind of goalkeeper you need in Football Manager. Great shot stopping, great aerial reach, unique nationality. That's like a multiplier to all his attributes. Hopefully he's going to have a good game for us. Of course, Thomas Estevez, one of a number of players to join us this year, a player who I do feel like has taken us to that next level. £38 million was not a small fee, but he has been very, very good for us. 3 assists in the Champions League up until this point. Out at left back, we've got Perez, who I feel like he's still got to have his coming-of-age performance. He's been playing a little bit in the Spanish national team, but not so much recently. He joined us, of course, from Valladolid last year. This year, he's done okay. Hopefully, he can remain defensively solid. I feel like that's all we can really ask of our defence. Of course, one of our record transfers, I mean, you can only have one record transfer. He is the record transfer. Gvardiol joined us from Leipzig for 62 million. I think he's had exactly the kind of impact we needed. He was so involved in that semi-final win against Bayern Munich. Hoping of more from him today. Galarreta alongside him, apparently declining a little bit, which isn't really what you love to see. This year, he's been remarkably consistent versus the previous year. 22 games he's played in the league. Debatably a bit of a weak link, dare I say, in the starting 11 with how much the quality has improved everywhere. But he starts today. Ahead of them, of course, Capanu, the shield, the man who is going to do the protection work. A player who can be a little bit inconsistent on his day. Hopefully he can have a good performance for us. Of course, he was signed from Steaua Bucharest for 6.25 million as a right back, but he has become the ball-winning midfielder of dreams for us. Hoping that he's going to do the business. Alongside him, the captain, Tonali, joined us from Man City for an absolute bargain fee. Oh, I just hope he doesn't get sent off like he did against United. Nothing silly, please, today, Sandro. Out on the left, I am going with Avramides. I don't know why I'm going with Avramides. There's just a voice in the back of my head that says that this is his time to shine. This is his game to come into and show people what he's all about. On the opposite wing, we've got another new addition this year in Pedro Porro. I really do feel like the signings we've made this year have made such a big contribution in terms of the advancements we've made. And one man who perhaps personifies that is Hannibal. Joined us, of course, in January. What a signing he's ended up being. Was single-handedly responsible, really, for the rout against Manchester United, his former club. Hopefully against another familiar opposition for him in Arsenal, he's going to come good. And of course, up top, we have got the one, the only, Siapina, a man who we can rely on for goals. Hopefully, he's going to turn up on the big stage today. Over on the bench, a whole cast of familiar faces, I feel like. Velez, Corridor, Tolisso, Pablo Torre, Guk Deniz, Calderon, Luzzi, and then beyond the usual suspects on the bench, we have the likes of Vega, Machedo, Hardy, Martinez, and Diaz. The team are ready. I'm ready. I'm wearing my Lucky Park to Prem shirt. You might be sat there thinking, what makes this shirt lucky? I don't actually know. I'm not really a conspiracy type or, someone who believes in having stuff that's lucky. So if we win, it's a lucky shirt. If we lose, it's not a lucky shirt, basically. I'm just looking over this team one more time thinking, am I happy? I am happy. Let's submit the team for this game. We are going to be on extended highlights for this cup final for added drama, stress, and torture. I touched upon it, I think, in the last couple of episodes, but I've not got a very good record when it comes to Champions League finals this year. If you watched Park to Prem, if you didn't watch it and you're watching this now, go and watch Park to Prem. It was a save game we did earlier on in the year. With that, we only won the one Champions League. We lost 2 finals in that series. Over on Twitch, I've lost a Champions League final. I got hammered in it. Today, I just want to see us give a really, really good display. I want to leave this game not feeling like there's too many regrets. I will be honest with you now, though, to remove ourselves from the Football Manager universe side of things. I am conscious of the fact it is the start of September. The new Football Manager is going to be out in a month or two's time, probably 2 months roughly. But you guys who watch long-term know I like to have a little bit of a gap before the next kind of Football Manager comes out, a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube just to recharge my batteries. We're not going to have many chances as big as this one. We're not going to make it to... And this might be the one shot we get at a Champions League final, I suppose is what I'm trying to say here. Let's hope that we can make the most of it. As Hannibal is out on the far side, inside to Tonali, who cuts inside. Thomas Estevez is there, his shot's blocked. Could he get it still into the mixer? He tries to. He can't, but Pedro Porro intercepts. That defensive instinct that Pedro Porro has, working wonders there as he read the play. Unfortunately, it's gone out for a corner. Oh, not a corner, sorry, a goal kick. And now they're on the attack. Kessie for them. They've got Vlasic obviously playing ahead of him. Saka as well. Lots of familiar faces here. Banasser to Zivkovic, the former Racing man. Not like this. If Zivkovic is involved in this game, I'm going to be so upset. What has Perez done in the middle? I think we've just given away the most stupid penalty ever. Zivkovic, the former Racing man, putting the ball into the box. And the penalty's given, and well, now we look towards Ramadani, hoping for a miracle. Saki was taken down in the box. It's going to be Kessie stood over the penalty. He sends the keeper the wrong way. And that is really, really, really not the start we needed, nor wanted, going in to the Champions League final. 15 minutes gone. We are a goal down. And I just feel a little bit sad, I suppose. Right, early demand more. I say early. It's 23 minutes in. Saka with the ball here, switching it towards the back post. Brahim Diaz is there, and he makes it 2-0. And, I mean, to be frank, we've just not shown up. We have just not shown up. Saka switches it over. Brahim Diaz on the volley hits it home. Oh dear. I'm trying to pause the game here just to kind of get my breath back, I suppose. They've had 2 shots on target. They've both gone in. One was from a penalty. I don't want to overreact and panic just yet. But so far in this game, we have really, really not looked good enough. And this first half is just quickly getting away from us. Nothing really happening. No real opportunities. There's going to come a point in this game where we have to go for it. I mean, there's part of me that kind of wants to go for it now. But I can't help but feel like that would be too soon to do so. You know what? I'm going to change things a little bit here. I'm going to bring Hannibal into the middle. And just try and share up the centre of the midfield a little bit more. I think their midfield's been winning a lot of the battles. Our wing-backs have been caught high up the pitch as well. So I'm going to switch them to play and defend. A couple of times the ball's kind of gone over the top and got in behind us. But I am going to tell Porro and Avramedes to get on attack. Porro did pick up a knock, I noticed, in the first half, so I'm just wondering if I want to take him off. If I was to take him off, I think the player to bring on is WorkTheSpace. You know what? I feel like I should just do it and go for it. WorkTheSpace cutting in on his left foot, playing in his natural habitat out on the right-hand side. Throw a bottle. I need more from you, lads. I need more from you. And while some people didn't appreciate the bottle throw, the majority did. You wouldn't even know we've been on extended highlights with the way this final's gone. We have really not looked at it so far. I feel like we need to commit a little higher up the pitch as well. They get in behind again. It's long near here, whipping it in. Gvardiol's going to head it away. Only as far as Zivkovic. Benacer with it. Tonali just get it away. End the highlight. Zivkovic, my son, don't do it to us. I am so gutted about the nature of their first goal, that penalty, because I just feel like there's nothing you can really do about it. What I will say here is, statistically, we're doing fine. We're doing okay. It's not that bad, but we need goals. Statistics don't help us. And I feel like there's going to come a point here where I've got to get a little bit more direct with our play. And I think that moment has come here, really. Distribute it quickly. I don't want to go too attacking too soon, but at the same time, I feel like there is I suppose, an interest in us here now to just try and rush them a little bit more. Try and force an error. We've not seen anything inside the first 15 minutes of this second half. Estevez wins his header to WorkTheSpace, fresh off the bench. What can he do? Can he provide some inspiration? Hannibal, WorkTheSpace and co in the middle. Estevez need a ball of quality here. Whips it in, back post. Sandro Tonali finds the back of the net. That is what we needed. And it's the luscious locks of Estevez to the captain. Back post header. And we're back in it. We are back in it. Bit of patient, probing play here. Nice build-up play. You know, even though we're playing with wing-backs on defend, Estevez will still get forward like that. And that header, absolutely inch perfect, dare I say. It is 2-1. And we've got 25 minutes to try and grab another. Okay, 20 minutes left in this game. I'm making further changes. Estevez has not had a very good game out in the wide areas. I'm going to bring in Jorge Calderon for him. Hannibal and Capanu being on bookings is a tiny bit concerning. I'm going to bring in Tolisso, I think, to play as a ball-winning midfielder for us. That is a role that he can do pretty well. As much as I love Capanu, he does scare me a little bit. He has got, shall we say, aggressive tendencies. I am going to tell Tolisso just to play on a support role rather than a defend here, because we are going to need to go for it. And while we have got a corner here, Sandro Tonali to whip it in. Gvardiol is there, and it's in the back of the net. And from 2-0 down to 2-2. Oh my word. Tonali involved in both goals. The goal scorer now turning provider. And it took us a while to get going in this game. We've tweaked things a little bit. There's some questionable goalkeeping in there. And you know what? Now that we're a goal up, I'm just going to tell Tolisso to go back on defend, I think. To go back and be sensible here. 19 minutes. I mean, there's another highlight right away here. Imagine if they just go up the other end and score. I don't want to imagine it. Tierney on the overlap here. Whips it in. Gvardiol, I think, heading it away from danger. Just to prove it to you, we are playing on extended highlights. There's just a lot going on in this game when it comes to goal-scoring highlights, and no real chances beyond them. It's been clinical by both teams. 5 minutes left of this game, though. It's been so even. Arsenal on the attack. We've fought back so bravely. I don't want to lose this game like this. Zivkovic on the ball. It would have to be him, surely, you'd imagine, to put the dagger through our heart if they are to score here. Benacer to Martinelli, cutting inside, through on goal, and he scores. He scores with 2 minutes left. He dances inside and out. He finds the back of the net. And we fought back so bravely. But the end of it, just a moment of brilliance by Martinelli with that dribbling has killed us. And I have to pause the game here. And I have to throw men forward at this point, don't I? There is no point in sitting back and being patient here. This is a moment now in this game where we just have to go for it. We have to throw men forward. We have to do absolutely everything in our power. Oh, I'm so gutted. I'm so gutted. I mean, Arsenal undeniably have a better squad than us, I think. I mean, they've won the last 2 Champions Leagues. They're a good team. Oh, but at the same time, that doesn't make me feel any better about what I'm witnessing here. You know what? I'm going to go kind of as attacking as I think I'm willing to go here. Can Estevez play right mid? He can. Okay, look, there's a point in which we've got to go for it. I think we've reached that point, you know? And you know what? Just to make sure, I really, really am going for it. Get Ramadani forward on corners. He is the tallest man on the team. Plonk him on the near post. We have 4 minutes to try and make something happen. And it's just not going to happen. 25 seconds over extra time. I feel like extended highlights always show this. I want to be wrong. I want there to be one last chance. And there just isn't. And that is pretty gutting. That is upsetting, disappointing. We did so well to come back from 2-0 down after such an early kind of just capitulation. I thought we steadied the ship a little bit. I thought we'd done a really good job. Maybe I should have just kept going for it, knowing that, you know, momentum was with us. But that moment of brilliance by Martinelli, just turning Estevez inside and out, has won them that game. And unfortunately for us, we're going to lose the Champions League final. And like I said earlier, this might be the one final we get. I feel like with YouTube series, there's this expectations that a save game ends with a Champions League being won. And I've never really bought into that. Whilst I feel like the Champions League is the grand prize at the end, I think especially with a save game like this, the aim was really always to become the biggest team in Spain, to dominate the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. But if we don't ever get another shot at a Champions League, it is going to feel like unfinished business. We will look back at this moment as one where we didn't really show up. Oh, it's so gutting, isn't it? An 89th minute winner. It was an incredibly, incredibly even game, it has to be said. But Arsenal win a 3rd in a row. I mean, that's kind of nuts, isn't it, when you look at it? 3 Champions Leagues they've won in a row. They've got Saki leading the line, the man who won them the penalty. Vlasic through the middle. Diaz out on the left-hand side. Bukayo Saka out on the right-hand side as well. I mean, it is a very, very good team. I feel like it's a team that we could have beaten on another day. I feel like Siapina was very quiet. I think there were a few players that... I don't want to throw them under the bus, but they did go missing a little bit. I mean, if there is a silver lining to all of this, it's that we were the biggest overachievers. Tonali did end up getting the most assists, and we have qualified for the Club World Cup, which happens next year for what it's worth. Oh, at the same time, though, it can't not hurt to get so far and yet just fall short at the very, very end. Especially now knowing I've got no transfer budget for next season. You know, players are going to have to move on. Velez for 51 million. I know people are going to hate me to utter it, but Corridor's probably also going to get moved on this summer. Because for as good as he's been, he's got 1 year left on his current deal. He's unhappy. He doesn't want to renew. PSG are interested. I feel like he's not going to improve anymore. Like, he's not really developed since we've signed him, to be honest. But, yeah, a couple of players to cash in on for the transfer special. A couple of players to maybe look to bed into the first team a little bit more. Players like Calderon, I want to try and give a bit more in the way of game time to this coming year. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to terminate the Pablo Torre loan. Maybe that time has come. He has got another year left on his loan if I want it. I think if I hit continue once or twice more, we're going to get to the end of season roundup stuff. So let's try and get to that. Let's do this end of season bit in one take. It's not going to be as in detail as perhaps you're used to, because frankly, I'm heartbroken. I mean, yes, we've won a double. Yes, we've won the league. Yes, we've won the Copa del Rey. But we've just lost a Champions League final. There's no covering it. We've just lost a Champions League final. I can't not pretend that's happened. I mean, in terms of best signing, it's been given to Gvardiol, but I think you can make a pretty compelling case for Hannibal also getting it. What I would say is, when you look at the fees spent, the two most expensive players we bought justified their fee. I feel like, actually, in terms of our transfer business this year, I don't think I got any of it wrong. That might sound like a really big-headed thing to say, but I feel like of all the players we brought in, they all performed to a decent level. They all returned goals. I mean, in terms of transfers out, obviously, we made moves on the outs to be able to reinvest. If you're wondering, how has Blanco done in Nice? He's done kind of Nice, I suppose. 5 goals, 6 assists. He's on a 7.2 rating. He's done fine for them. Elsewhere on the outs, Resende went to Cagliari. Hasn't done a great deal for them at all since he left us. Mahika, 19 goals for Espanyol in the league below us. And Zivkovic played 50 games for Arsenal, including a Champions League final. I mean, on the whole, let's be positive here. It's been a season to remember. We got 92 points in La Liga. We finished 14 points ahead of Barcelona and 17 points ahead of Real Madrid. The board gave us an A+. I think that's pretty fair. Siapina was top goal scorer in the Champions League. Yes, we didn't win it. We were still the overachievers of the entire competition, which I think says a hell of a lot. Equally, we made it to the final. And of course, we won a Copa del Rey as well, which, you know what? It's not the biggest trophy in the world, but it's another trophy to tick off the checklist of stuff that I wanted to win here at Racing. And in fact, when you think about it, the only thing we've not now won is a Champions League. Match to remember was the 3-0 win against Benfica, the biggest win, a 5-0 win against Osasuna. Tolisso getting goal of the season. I would view the goal of the season, but I feel like it always bugs out on this screen, so I'm not even going to test it. In terms of the club's side of things, reputation is on the up. Financially, a lot more money brought in this year as a result of that extended cup run in the Champions League. 432,000 shirts sold. I don't remember how many we sold in the first year. Quite confident that is an improvement. In terms of the highest selling shirts, Gvardiol, Pedro Porro and Hannibal, debatably the 3 biggest additions to the team this year. And then Siapina and Avramides. I'm just merging their names together. Also kind of popping up with the most shirts signed. You can see here the overall best 11, a sea of green when it comes to average rating. Make no mistake, today's been a good season. It's been a great season. We've won Manager of the Year, which is really cool. I think we've only won that on one previous occasion. Ramadani broke the record for most clean sheets. Siapina scored the fastest goal. Player of the season went to Gvardiol. Young player of the season was Siapina. You can see here, most man of the match is Hannibal. I do wonder if he'd been here for the whole season, just how dominant he would have been when it comes to awards and also records he would be potentially breaking. But you know what? It's a bit of a sad end to the year, but we've done a domestic double. That's still a pretty cool achievement, if you ask me. And we now need to look forward to the future, to next season, where, to be honest, I want to win a Champions League. I know it's going to be really difficult, but I want to believe it's possible. You can see here, Tonali finished second in the midfielders of the tournament. Apparently Mbappe won best midfielder, which is a little bit interesting. In terms of the team of the tournament, Tonali features in it. Besides that, it's just dominated by Arsenal. I don't want to talk about Arsenal anymore. Should we move on? End of season stuff. The expectation for the end of not next season, but the season after is to win La Liga. Expectation for next year, qualify for the Champions League. We will accept that. Expectations for next year. I want to win the league again, but I'm going to say qualify for the Champions League and play it safe. I will say now, I'm not sure why there's not many players here. I wonder if they've all gone off on international duty. It's like I'm talking to half the squad here. Either that or half the team's been released. Yeah, I suspected as much. Half the team has just gone straight on international duty. It is the Euros going on this summer. That might make our transfer business a little bit tricky because I know some players don't like to move whilst there's major international competitions going on. Anyway, the TLDR of this season is, it's a great season. It could have been an excellent season, and that kind of is a shame. That said, I think we overachieved massively. We've got a squad that is still in its prime. I mean, the vast majority of our players are in their early to mid-20s. There's a couple of older players in there, a couple more mature heads, but even in their cases, you know, they're nowhere near 30, really. I'm looking at the likes of Tonali and Porro thinking, yeah, you've still got 3 or 4 years of service left in you at the very least. This is a team that should improve with time. hopefully we're going to be able to improve it in the transfer market as well. In terms of my player of the season, I would give it to Hannibal. I know that's a bit of a boring one, perhaps. I know he's only been here half a year, but I think he is one of the reasons why we were able to compete as well as we did. In terms of young player of the year, I'd probably give it to Capanu. Maybe, or maybe, yeah, no, you know what? I'd give it to Capano or maybe Calderon. And I know Calderon, I feel like people think I've forgotten about Calderon. I've not forgotten about Calderon. He will get game time next year, as he has this year. Like, he's played a lot of football this season, 38 games played. He's developing off the back of it. I think people forget as well, he's only 20. He's a young, growing lad. He's only going to get better. I want to see him hoist a Champions League as our vice-captain. And in terms of the Clubman of the Year, a player who I think has been a loyal servant, but maybe won't be around next year, I'm looking at Fabian Velez. £51 million bid from Inter. I think that deal is very likely to go through. What it will mean is that assuming we do a transfer special tomorrow, there'll be plenty that we can actually do with the money. And, as I mentioned already, we've got Corridor to also potentially try and cash in on with 1 year left on his contract. I know that's not going to be a popular decision. Please don't dislike the video for it. But anyway, folks, that is going to wrap up me from kind of season 8, I suppose. In 8 years, we've gone from the 3rd tier of Spain to competing in a Champions League final. That's a pretty big achievement. I want to keep it going. I want to, as I said, become a dominant force in La Liga. I want to win the league again next year. To do that, we're going to have to be smart in the market. I hope you're excited for a transfer special. I'm already chomping at the bit to get into pre-season. It's my favourite part of Football Manager. I hope to see you guys for it. And well, until then, take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode despite the disappointing results. And I'll see you guys again very soon. I'm out.